Welcome to the 25th episode of the Harsch Review, a TV and movie podcast. With you, as always, is your host, Ryan, and my brother, Sean. How's it going, Sean?
Hey, pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Sean. So
cool.
I watched the movie Solo this weekend, big opening weekend, or we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, so what are your initial impressions? We're not really going to spoil anything, but...
Yeah, spoiler safe. It was a fun movie. It's one of those ones where I think I need to see it again to kind of appreciate it for what it is once you're kind of over the adjustment period to a Star Wars movie about Solo. I thought it was well done. I was surprised in a lot of respects. Kind of underwhelmed in a couple others. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. What about yourself?
I liked it. It was very entertaining. It honestly took a minute to kind of take off. I mean, I think it got better as it went along, but I wasn't like let down or anything. It's just if you were to scour the internet this weekend, you'd find that a lot of people are saying that the expected take wasn't as big as they thought it would be.
Yeah, I did read that as well. I mean, it made about $83 million. Disney was kind of hoping for the $100 million mark. So it's definitely the lowest performing Star Wars movie. But Ron Howard, he went on and he kind of said that it was didn't meet projections, but amounts to a new personal best.
Oh, so, sure. I mean, they're setting the bar pretty high. 130 to 150 million was what they expected to bring it, and it actually said it made a little over 100 million. Which, I mean, come on, that's pretty good. I mean, after what we've seen already this year with Panther and the new Avengers, it's going to be really hard to top some of these movies. It's just the way it is. But I mean, I was on this website here, and they're expositoring on all the reasons for why Solo didn't perform. So
what did they say?
Well, they give like 10 reasons, and then I'll just kind of go through them. We have poor marketing.
Yeah, that's true.
A bad Star Wars movie was inevitable. I mean, some people were just saying the movie was bad. I think it was bad.
That's kind of a gimme.
Yeah, this was not the movie fans were looking for.
Stupid.
Okay. Yeah, the movie is just bad. That's another.
The movie is just bad.
It's just bad. And then some people are laying the blame on The Last Jedi.
What? What's the connection?
It's some guy posted something, and I won't say his name, but he put it on Twitter. It says, "Did you hate The Last Jedi? Are you upset about the current direction Disney is taking Star Wars? If so, boycott Solo this weekend to send a message to Disney." Uh-oh. So, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a dumb, but obviously I don't see the connection there, but go ahead.
Yeah, another one is, I know nothing about this show, Lucifer.
Yeah.
I guess
on Netflix.
I guess it got canceled or something, and then some people are putting out on the internet, tweeting and whatnot. Heard Solo had a disappointing opening weekend. Could it be because Star Wars fans are trying to save Lucifer? I mean, I don't know what that's all about. Fox is a Fox show. Actually, they canceled Lucifer after 3 seasons. So who knows?
Yeah,
I don't know. Well,
anything like actually legitimate other than like this sounds like BuzzFeed to me.
No, I mean, yeah, it's just funny how people are just already chalking all this stuff up. I mean, big deal. It did well. I mean, 100 million is not a flop by any means. Some people are saying we have Star Wars fatigue. That's another.
Yeah, no, I think all that is just BS. Here's what I personally think it is. It's a good movie. It's well made, and I think it's a nice addition to the Star Wars universe.
Right.
It's one of those movies that doesn't center around like this villain type of good guy, bad guy kind of thing. It's really more of a character study or journey with Han Solo and Chewbacca. It's very dirty, very gritty. It's filmed a lot more like a heist type movie, essentially.
Yeah.
It's got a good pace to it. I think it was pretty simple in a lot of respects. It wasn't too complex, but I would say my only gripes with it is you did kind of feel the whole thing felt like it took place in a bunch of sets. So there were some environmental shots, but a lot of it was very claustrophobic of a film, very tight. And so that's what my only kind of gripe was. I mean, maybe a lot of that was to kind of capture the grit and tone of this, but an example would be where the locations that you're visited on, you don't really get much of an idea of that location itself other than wherever the action is kind of taking you. So a lot of the Star Wars movies, they do a great job of introducing you to the locations and kind of setting that tone. This one really didn't do that. It just played it much closer to the chest in those regards, which felt like there's a lot of set pieces and things like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot more about, for me, the acting, the guy playing Solo and then Donald Glover. They did a really good job of channeling, the characters they were portraying in like their early stages. Of course, we're not going to see Harrison Ford and Billy D. Williams. It's just not happening, but you really have to see these characters. I mean, this happened 10 years before the New Hope, if I'm not mistaken, right? So
yeah, roughly right around there.
I mean, you're not going to see them fully developed. It's just it's really like a Genesis type movie where you're going to see a spinoff, and that's pretty much all you're going to get. You're not going to get any crazy cameos. You're not going to get all that kind of stuff. It's just telling a story, and that's kind of why I liked it. It was simple. I didn't really attach any meaning to it within the greater Star Wars universe. But I think some people want that, and whatever. I mean, that's on them.
Well, yeah, I agree. I also think that, I'll probably get a lot of shit for saying this, but I think that there's fanboy Star Wars fans, and then there's like true Star Wars fans. And the fanboy ones are the ones that only like the movies. And they kind of gravitate towards it because it's part of pop culture. But outside the movies, they really don't have any interest in digesting anything Star Wars, either be animated series, books or comic books, graphic novels, video games, and things like that, board games. And so they really they enjoy the movies. They like it for what it is, but that's about as far as their love for Star Wars goes. I think this movie was made for people that are true Star Wars fans, and they like the story more than anything. And so that's what I look at, is I kind of go like, what did it introduce to these characters? Did it add value to these characters to where if I go back and watch the other ones, I now understand their motivations more. I understand their intentions. A good analogy I would compare it to would be James Bond. And when Daniel Craig came back on the scene as the James Bond and they did a reboot, that's where he kind of got married and lost his wife, who kind of betrayed him a little bit, but kind of came around. Yeah. And that's what turned the character James Bond to be more of like a womanizer and never really love again. And so that movie that took place was supposed to be the creation of James Bond, the first Daniel Craig one.
Making of a pimp.
Yeah, so you see that. You kind of see that he wasn't that type of person at the beginning of his career. So now in all the other movies, you kind of get it, like, okay, this is why the guy can't love again or something like that. And I think that Solo captures a lot of those elements about what's that character's motivations and intentions. Because when you see him in A New Hope, you don't really know any of that stuff.
No.
And so I think it did a great job of kind of setting that foundation so you to better understand Han's motivations in the prequels.
And you also have your third type of fan who just complains about everything, it seems like, or find fault with everything. And it's like, all right, well, why don't you make the movie then, sir or madam? Let's see how you do. I mean, it's hard to make these movies in the first place. I mean, if people knew actually a lot of the work that goes into it, and like the kind of the backstory of this particular franchise, or really just this particular film. It went through a couple director changes, had a lot of people writing the screenplay. It's the fact that it came out and it's an above average movie. I think it's pretty telling.
I would agree.
I mean, the story keeps it afloat. The characters keep it going. So it's really more driven towards that. But I liked it.
Yeah, there's a lot of love for Harrison Ford. And I think that if people can't get over it not being Harrison Ford, like, I'm just not ready to accept another Han Solo. I mean, that's just stupid to me, because what you're essentially saying is that you don't want to experience anything else in this Star Wars, universe, unless you're attached to the actors who are telling that character's story. And so while I respect that, because I could see the same way with like Indiana Jones, for example, whoever does Indiana Jones when it happens again. I mean, I'm going to be supportive of that because I love just the Indiana Jones itself and what it brought. And I feel the same way about Han Solo. I think he's a great character. I think people love him maybe a little bit too much. And I guess what I mean by that is, he's one of the more entertaining parts or salvageable parts of most of the prequels, in my opinion. His story, his acting, his emotion, he's putting on a clinic compared to the people that was surrounded by Harrison Ford. And so I think a lot of audiences connect with him because he's just a regular guy that doesn't have the Force and have all these powers. I think a lot of people connect with that character more
he
than
doesn't complain.
Luke or Leia.
He doesn't complain all the time like Luke.
Yeah, he's got good swagger,
Yeah.
He's an easy to love character.
Yeah, and he's very iconic in terms of it draws from like a lot of other characters, which, Lucas was, I'll give him that. He was good at creating like these iconographic characters.
Yeah.
It's like, we've seen this kind of guy in other genres and, now it kind of carries over and it's persistent and it's got big expectations, but at some point you'd have to realize the guy's a bit old to be playing a character. If he played himself in a prequel, it would just be kind of silly.
And I don't think that's the expectations. I think that no matter who was cast in that role would definitely come under that critique. I mean, I thought he did a good job of kind of capturing the overall vibe and persona of a Han Solo.
We haven't said his name yet because it's hard for me to say.
I know. I was waiting for you to drop it.
Yeah, I was like, I'll try to pronounce this.
Alden. We'll just call him Alden.
Alden. It sounds like a
Einrich. Yeah.
Einrich. Okay. Ehrenreich.
Enrich.
Yeah.
That works for me.
Okay. Alden.
Woody Harrelson was great in this movie. I thought he was excellent cast. There's a good combination of actors and things in there. I also like seeing Ron Howard's brother in this one. He was in that. So look out for him if you're watching the movie.
We got Willow.
Yeah, Willow was in there.
Yep. He had like one line. I was like, all right, that's the thanks you show this guy for wearing
he's been in all these movies.
Costume. Yeah.
I did appreciate the Raiders of the Lost Ark Easter egg. I don't know if you caught it. You would know if you saw it without giving anybody. Just look for it, guys. It's basically, there's a fertility idol in one of the sets, and you get a few good shots to look at it.
Okay.
But I saw it and I was like, yeah, look at that. I saw it right away. They didn't really hide it too much, but I thought they could have hidden it a little bit better.
Yeah.
There was a nice little touch or throwback there. Not a lot. Like the CGI was tasteful. I think that they did a good job of like kind of capturing it's got its own tone and feel to it. Which I appreciate. And I left the theater saying, like, love it or hate it. It shows that movies in the Star Wars universe can be very successful without having to deal with the Force, Jedi, any of that kind of stuff.
It's nice to step away from that.
Yeah, I would agree. It is. But overall, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing it again. I'll probably wait until it's out on digital or Blu-ray. I enjoyed it. I think that my complaints really about it would be more about what I probably would have liked to have seen compared to what I got. So I don't know. There's a lot of, what kind of movie would you compare it to as far as if this was just a standalone, rewrite the characters' names, not make it in the Star Wars, and you just tell the exact same story?
It felt more at times kind of like a Raiders of the Lost Ark, honestly,
That's true.
Just kind of like there were like a couple down times in the scenes, but overall it had like a nice sense of humor to it. Like a couple really awesome scenes in the movie. You get to learn about like the Kessel Run, because they talk about that in the New Hope, and you're like, what are they talking about the parsecs? And so you learn, you learn about that, which is kind of nice. And you learn about the acquisition of the Millennium Falcon. So it's like really like they're like major things that kind of set up. You learn about how Han, kind of became more insulated and didn't really show his emotions after a while, and you learn kind of why that is through this film. Which is also kind of good to see that, and you also see the beginning of his friendship with Lando, which is kind of cool. So.
Yeah, what did you? Lando was good. I mean, I read a lot about he steals the movie, and I don't really think he does. I think he plays exactly what you need to. Yeah. Which is, I think that's what I just keep getting hung up on, is that it didn't feel epic or grandiose enough. It was just such a very claustrophobic movie, and so all the times you see characters like Lando or there's other key characters in the movie, they're on just these sets, and that's the only time you really see them. And so I think it just kind of didn't really make it feel like it was part of that same universe because of just the art direction behind keeping it much tighter. I don't know. I mean, Rogue One, I think was very different in that regard, to where there's huge sets and huge environments, and you kind of walked away with that more similar feeling, where this one definitely feels fresh and new. So I just got to adjust to that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. I mean, go check it out, everybody. Don't listen to all the crazy hype.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I think it was a great movie. Looking forward to watching it again. Go check it out. Did you catch any of the trailers before it?
Yeah, I saw a couple of them. So I saw one that I thought was going to be the Jungle Book, but it was actually something we talked about a long time ago. It was the Mowgli movie that's done by Andy Serkis.
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
I saw that. I
haven't seen that yet.
Because I know there's another Jungle Book coming out. So, they showed a preview for that. It looked good, but it's. I mean, I'm more, I guess, attached to the cartoon. I don't know. It's nothing I really put a lot of stock in, or care too much about. But I guess it's interesting. It would be interesting to see what Andy Serkis does as a director. You always see him playing some costume dude, so it's like, all right, let's see what he does with this one. I don't know.
It's a bit interesting to me that this is where, you talk about Star Wars oversaturation. The Disney oversaturation is definitely happening.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that a movie got greenlit like this after another Jungle Book. What does it have to offer that the other one didn't? It's probably a little bit more edgier, maybe a little more adult focused. I'm just assuming, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious to see. I think it's almost kind of set up to fail in some respects, depending on how well they market it, because it's not Disney. It's more true to the book. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. I mean, visually it looks pretty cool, but it's like, it might get buried by everything else.
Sure.
Which happens, a lot of good movies fall by the wayside, or they come up, later on, they're appreciated as cult classics or not.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I saw Mowgli, and then there's another Robin Hood coming out. Of course. I'm done with this franchise, honestly. I don't really care too much about it.
Yeah.
Ben Mendelsohn plays the sheriff in Nottingham, and that looks like to be the only kind of saving grace of this movie. The guy playing Robin Hood, I've never seen him before. Don't know who he is.
He's one like the Kingsman. The lead actor in Kingsman. Those two movies. Yeah, and then you've also got Little John, Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, which is cool, but it's like it looks the same as all the other ones,
Sure.
How many times are you going to tell this story? I mean, but I guess I could say that about a lot of films.
That was something I was thinking about the other day, and maybe this is something worth talking about a little bit more. But really, when you think about these reboots and all that kind of stuff, the oversaturation, or why do we need another Robin Hood? I mean, nobody can play it better than Kevin Costner did. No, I'm just kidding. But I like that movie.
Errol Flynn.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
It's really just trying to go to a new. I feel they're making it for a new audience, and it's incremental money, meaning that people like us who've seen a handful of the Robin Hoods. There was the last one I remember was Russell Crowe, and that was decent. It was a different approach. It was entertaining, but again, then you have Kevin Costner, which was more of the 90s version, where you don't really believe that he's a Robin Hood, but anyways. And so they're just trying to get new audiences. So you've seen a lot of these movies that are coming out again, and you're going, well, who the hell's going to go see that? And that will be somebody's first Robin Hood movie.
Yeah.
And that's who it's for, I think.
I wonder if Bryan Adams is on the soundtrack.
Yeah. There's no
everything I do for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything I do, Ryan.
I do for you, Sean.
I do it for you.
I do it for the podcast, actually.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Deep.
Saw that new Ant-Man trailer.
Yeah, it looked all right.
It does. I mean, it's a nice, this is kind of like the bottom tier Marvel characters, because at least they have their own voice and they're keeping it light and fun. You got Paul Rudd in there. I mean, who can really take him serious as an action star?
Yeah.
But it looks fun. I think that it's going to be, they just showed a lot of, the trailers and marketing behind this. You can tell that they're trying to just capture a summertime fun popcorn movie.
Yeah.
There's just no depth to Ant-Man, in my opinion.
Yeah. I never really even knew Ant-Man was a thing until I saw the movie. I was like, what? It's just like the universe is so huge, they can just start getting all these kind of marginal characters going, but
yeah, it wasn't most popular. I would agree.
Yeah.
I was aware of him. I knew a little bit about him. I knew a little bit about the character. Didn't know much about that. But, Ant-Man and the Wasp, it's just an interesting kind of take to where you kind of go, yeah, on its own, it's a fun movie, worth watching. He's an important character in the Avengers, at least these current movies. But again, it's just, you kind of look at it, though. I like preferably a little bit more dramatic, a little more heavy on the superhero stuff. Not as heavy as some DC stuff gets. It's a little too emo.
Yeah.
But I do like some of those elements that a little more, the stakes are higher. You don't feel like you're just watching a comic book movie per se.
Right.
And I think this one is a little too fun and light to where it'll be entertaining, but I'm not really expecting it to be a good movie in that respect. It'll be a fun movie.
Yeah.
But I am looking forward to that.
Yeah. Taking it back to Star Wars really quick, like now that we're talking about all these kind of spin-off movies, there's been talk of the Boba Fett movie, and we have a new writer and director who's going to be doing it, so it might be interesting. It's James Mangold.
Yes.
Yeah, and I believe he did Logan, right?
Yeah, and he's coming on to, so Boba Fett, obviously, that's another one where I'm kind of going like, really?
Yeah. It's just a guy in a suit, you don't really know about the dude, so.
Yeah, you get a little bit about him in the Clones movie, or at least the Attack of the Clones, where you can kind of see that Boba Fett's dad, Jango, was the dude cloned to be all the Star Troopers, if I'm remembering that correctly.
I don't remember it because I've repressed those movies from my memory completely. So
sure,
that memory is gone. I might have to go back and watch it, Sean.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, because I know that Solo was set up to be 3 movies, and there's a contract to do 3 depending on how well it does.
Wow.
And I hope that they do that more to kind of connect it, I think. Because Star Wars is starting to go this Marvel route, but it's like reverse. So, for example, we had all these movies leading up to Infinity War. And now with Star Wars, I feel that the original trilogy, the prequels, and then the current trilogy is like the combined Infinity War. And then now we're seeing movies that kind of tell these character stories. Boba Fett will be interesting because if they take the mask off, right? Just imagine like what could that movie look like? Take the mask off. Whoever the hell is under that mask
is a white guy.
Going to seal, it's going to seal or break it. It is a white dude.
It could be a woman.
It's a white dude.
All right,
because they already introduced that character in Attack of the Clones.
See, I don't remember. So
I
feel all shitty now.
It's okay, and so it's going to be interesting to see like what's their story going to be. And how are you going to make a movie about a bounty hunter or a villain? I think they would probably have to humanize him. I think that they would have to not necessarily portray him as a bad guy, but like a bounty hunter can kind of be neutral because essentially you're going after people who have a bounty on their head, which are usually bad guys or people who've done something. And Han Solo is an example where he ripped off people and he's not a good dude in that respect. So he got a bounty on his head. And the Solo movie does a good job of kind of showing you how that world works. So there could be a story in there. It could end up feeling like Taken or something, where he's just going after people. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think I think that they're trying to capture, a lot of people love Boba Fett and I just don't get it. I think he's a cool looking character, but that's about it. If you watch all his screen time, he doesn't do anything.
No.
He flies into the pit.
Yeah,
he stands there. He gets Solo in the carbonite. Yeah, he doesn't do anything.
He's kind of picking people up, basically. Every time you see him, he's picking someone up. He's not really doing it. It's interesting we're talking about these spinoffs because I would love to see Jabba the Hut spinoff. I don't know about you, Sean, but I think there's a story. There's a story to tell there. Like, he was like a binge eater. He used to be all skinny, and then he used to be just some like lizard.
He's
and
all
then he
doing
started,
drugs and hustling.
Right. I think there's a story to be told there.
Well, how does a slug get power over people?
He's a gangster. He's a mobster.
Yeah, but how does that like? Let's work through it a little bit. Like he's obviously not a mobile guy, right? And as a young slug,
8 guys in that costume.
How does he get power and influence? It has to be through money or something because him on his own doesn't really seem too effective. He's like dependent on people doing his bidding. Right. So he's got to be really smart and a manipulator. I just don't really see that jump to where he's climbing the ranks of whatever gangster cycles he's in.
That is why we need a solo movie for Jabba the Hutt. Sean, I think these questions will be answered if they make the movie.
Yeah, if they continue doing solo movies, Jabba's going to come into play because there's a lot of stuff written about those two in the original prequels. So I'd be down for it. Just call it Jabba, a Star Wars story.
Yeah.
Or Salacious Crumb, a Star Wars story. That's a little crispy dude that hangs out next to Jabba.
Oh yeah, because they got to meet each other, at some point. And
he's
got to get his little crew together.
Yeah, I'm curious to see.
It's in the books.
He could be in royalty. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, you could really do anybody. That's what's funny about this. Like, even when we're elderly, they'll still be cranking these out, like about every marginal character. There'll be like a Jawas movie.
I know.
It's just like everything. And then other characters you've never seen before. It's just going to keep coming back. And I guess it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. It depends on who you ask. If you ask that third class of people we talked about, they're going to knock it no matter what. It's just going to happen.
Well, that's why I'm kind of excited for the new stuff that Rian Johnson's doing or that Favreau's doing, where we're getting these new trilogies and stuff that are around the corner, because hopefully it's just all new characters with the same like universe mythology. We just need a fresh, point of view. Everything connects back to the original Star Wars, and I feel like that the equity on that's just running out a bit. Yeah. So that's kind of why. If they come out with a Star Wars movie that just no connection at all other than it takes place in the same universe, then I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. But I'm fine with it.
Yeah, and I think we'll talk about Solo a bit more next week, maybe when we kind of remove the next week or two, when we kind of remove the whole spoiler embargo, because there's some very specific things I'd want to kind of talk through a little bit in that movie. Okay. So we'll give everybody a chance. Make sure you go see it. Clearly, not everybody did this weekend. But
well, it didn't do that great, Sean. Like
it crushed it. I mean,
yeah.
So let me pull this up. So hold on. Let me just give you an example here. Why don't you just stall for me for a second? Let's see. So if I remember correctly, let's look at Steven Spielberg movies, right?
Okay.
And he had, you think about like his opening weekend, the highest, gross that he had. Okay. And his movies, while he has a huge reputation, he doesn't have like the reputation for high grossing movies.
Yeah.
So that's what's kind of confuses people just a little bit. Most of his movies average like 15 to 45 million opening weekend. Ready Player One did 41, right?
So that wasn't considered too great for that movie. I mean, that trailer had been out forever.
Well, his biggest was Kingdom of the Crystal Skull at 100 million. The Lost World, Jurassic Park was 72 million. So here's somebody like Steven Spielberg, who's probably arguably one of the best directors ever.
Yeah.
Never really had a movie put up the numbers like Solo. He's only had that happen a couple times in his career. And he's got, 33 movies with directorial credits that he's got on here. And so I'm just kind of remembering that going, you know what, that almost kind of frustrates me a little bit because Disney's got all the monies and the movie did a great job. It still performed incredibly well. Anybody would kill to have pull in 85 million or 100 million. It's like, nope, not enough.
No,
like,
I think if the complaint is the marketing, I think you should have put Clint Howard on the poster.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, we got this guy again.
Yeah, that's not going to help.
Sympathetic. Sean, if you became a famous director, would you put my goofy looking ass on all your movies?
It's Joe Montana, you idiot.
Joe Montana was a quarterback, you idiot. I said Joe Montana.
No. Yeah, I don't even think that was it. Really, it definitely did get bad marketing and a lot of bad press because of the shakeups. Yeah, that I think a lot of people are like, I'm gonna wait to see what it is. Yeah, and then the Disney marketing machine kicked in, where everybody connected with it. Was doing something positive because they need it to be successful. So Mark Hamill tweets certain things. Harrison Ford showed up at some random press junkets and was saying good things about it. Like they needed his blessing, which really feels like somebody greased the palms a bit to get him to go out there. George Lucas said it was a lot of fun. He was on set when he was filming with Ron Howard a lot because him and Ron Howard go way back to American Graffiti. And he even gave Ron some tips about that, about like, here's what I think Han's character would do.
Wear a flannel shirt tucked in at all times.
Tuck it out. All right,
tuck that in.
That road.
get the neck beard going. I think and the weak chin because it covers up the weak chin.
His inseam is probably like 34, 12.
Don't worry about Levi's. Wear Wrangler jeans, Ron.
Yeah,
Wrangler jeans are where it's at. Or where it's at.
And then I think so. Yeah, and a lot of people were turning up saying, "Oh, it's great. Oh, it's blah blah blah," and everyone really wanted it to succeed because they knew it was kind of set up just with bad press all along. You didn't really see anything till Super Bowl, which is very kind of concerning to build the hype train up. They really only had 3 months of like heavy press, so and then they didn't show Alden too much playing Han in the trailers, so there's a little bit of concern there. And then watching the movie and noticing what made it into the original trailers, were all like non-important parts of the movie, which I think is great. But for a movie that's a tougher sell, you might need to let a little bit more out. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's move on. So I watched, I don't know why, but maybe it's because it's heist movie weekend. I watched Ocean's 12 again, and it's been a while since I've seen this movie.
Is that the one with Pacino?
No.
That's the later one, right?
Yeah. This is the second one where they're like in Italy.
Oh,
and they're having to steal the Fabergé egg.
Yeah, okay.
This movie was so bad.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, they're all kind of bad. I mean, it's like I thought the first one was good, but it's just so like cliched. We've talked about this so many times. Like, this guy's the bomb expert. Here's the smart ass. Here's the ladies' man. Here's the nerd. Yes. It's like every possible and all these guys come together to pull off this, but it's like, you got to split the money with all these idiots, like, why don't you just get like 4 dudes? You got to get 12 guys to pull off this bullshit.
I know. So here's the pros to these movies is that it's clever in regards to the heist, where they kind of write it in a little bit going, how are they going to do it? Because you as the viewer are getting duped at the same time. So there's always did they do it? And then they give you the montage that shows you how they did it. And you went, oh, that's how they did it.
I can't believe I missed that.
You guys. Suckers. Yeah. So this movie had a pretty lame payoff where the heist is essentially everything you're seeing was a show to trick this other burglar guy, to beat him to the egg. Towards like, no, we stole it before the whole movie started. Basically is the premise. So everything you're seeing was a show, which I thought was like, okay, that's pretty dumb.
You don't want that sophomore slump when you do the second one. So it's like, you have to come up with something really good.
I didn't remember a lot of things. And then, then they had Julia Roberts as Tess is in it, but then they need her to play Julia Roberts, the actress, to get access to the thing. So, and I was like, okay,
how clever.
That was so dumb.
Because she looks like Julia. Wait a minute. Oh, she is Julia Roberts.
I know. It was like, this is a tough sell.
What a mindfuck.
And then she runs into Bruce Willis in the lobby, who just happens to be hanging out. And then he's like, Julia. And then she has to pretend to be herself because it's not her. Yeah,
because they've done movies before together.
This whole thing isn't working. Yeah.
I see another movie I've repressed from my memory. I have seen it.
Yeah, and then they have like Catherine Zeta-Jones in it, who's supposed to be this, badass detective going after them. And you just don't buy like her pedigree or anything, where like a girl running around in high heels, like just commanding the, Italian police force to do her bidding to help catch whoever. I don't know. That was just another one of those things where I'm like, yeah, that's annoying. It's annoying. I know.
So it sounds like you want to get behind Ocean's 8, Sean.
I mean, other than the trailer, it looks like it could be fun. I didn't see, I don't know. It just depends on how well it's written.
You're saying that because your wife wants you to go.
I mean, I know she loves half the cast in it, but I guess my thing is, and this has nothing to do with like a feminist movie or a female driven movie versus an all male driven movie. I just don't like that they're attaching themselves to this franchise with their little number theme and going, okay, this is the all woman version.
Yeah.
Where I don't know.
It's like it's Hollywood being unoriginal again because you're going to be making all these movies over again, but let's do a female cast. I'm not trying to be a misogynist. I'm just saying it's a Hollywood ploy. It's like, let's not come up with anything original. Let's remake Ghostbusters, but this time all female. So it's like, what are you going to do when you run out of all these premises and you've already redone all of them?
Yeah,
you're gonna like let's do Glengarry Glen Ross, but with dogs. Like that might be a really interesting movie. Or let's do this movie with cats. And it's just like, it just keeps going. It really proliferates itself, but it's like there's a definite lack of originality. Because a lot of these movies that are coming out just kind of draw from other movies, and there's nothing really solid anymore. I think that's why people love like the Avengers and Black Panther, because it is rooted in the comic books, but they're original stories. They draw from mythology. They draw from all kinds of things, and I think that's why people like to see those. And my rant is over.
End scene.
Yeah, end scene.
Yeah, it looks interesting as far as like what is their point of view going to be, but ultimately I think it's going to be the exact same formula with just different personalities telling it. And if you look at it that way, it doesn't matter who the cast is. That's why I don't have interest in it.
Yeah.
If this was the original Ocean's, 11 or whatever the case might be, or it was marketed differently, probably would be more appealing to me. Because I think that they do have a good cast. I think that it's probably going to be pretty funny, but like you mentioned, you're going to have the smart ass, you're going to have the
black guy, the nerd,
you're going to have all these stereotypes that do some bank heist that you don't really know if they succeeded or not until they give you a montage.
The cranky old man.
Yeah.
Well, would you rather have this or like the original with Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin?
Yeah, you couldn't pay me to watch that.
Oh no.
I mean, no beef against those guys, but I mean, I have a hard time watching like old movies. Other than like, yeah, it's cool, but the audio video snob in me is just kind of going like, the aspect
shitty.
ratio, right. There's all kinds of stuff coming on.
Looks awful.
So two things I wanted to throw out there that also caught my eye this week is, remember how we talked about, I don't know if you watched the trailer for the Happytime Murders, the Muppets movie that anyways.
Yeah, I saw some news on that.
Sesame Street suing them.
Wow.
Because they're saying it ruins the name. It's like Sesame, all street.
You can't make this up.
I know. So it's just, I didn't hear about this movie till a week ago, and now Sesame Street's suing them for what they're saying, that they're taking them to federal court for tarnishing the reputation of their family-friendly puppets to promote their new movie. And I didn't really see that connection.
Snuffleupagus to the stand, please.
Yes.
Put your trunk on the Bible, Snuff.
Yeah.
Can we have Oscar the Grouch?
Yeah, they're bringing in those personalities. Yeah. So, I don't know. It's just kind of funny to me that I didn't really see the connection to where, just because they said, no Sesame, all street. It's like, okay.
Well, I mean, it has nothing to do with Sesame Street, though. I mean, it's just puppets.
Yeah, I know.
Is that word again?
No, let's avoid it, please.
It's just, it's cloth things that you put your hand in and move around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Modern marionettes.
Yes.
So, best of luck to this new movie, Happytime Murders. This is one that I definitely wouldn't pay to see this.
It just seems so like surreal,
I think the shtick is going to wear out rather quickly.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, I think it's funny because I was reading like the deposition or whatever. It's like, it was just on Sesame seeks to enjoin defendants' deliberate effort to appropriate its Sesame Street mark and its trusted brand and goodwill to promote their R-rated movie, The Happytime Murders, by way of a violent and sexually explicit trailer. Sesame Street is a registered trademark of Sesame, an organization with a long and storied history of helping kids grow smarter, stronger, and kinder. So, I don't know.
That was pretty heavy.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, this is good press for the movie, if anything.
Yeah, so shifting gears, kind of going back to Disney, since they've been in these conversations. Did you know that last week, according to Fortune, Netflix briefly passed Disney as far as market cap? Yeah, so Disney basically has a market cap of $153 billion. And, Netflix has temporarily surpassed them, and they're kind of going back and forth because Netflix passed Comcast in market value. Comcast has been plummeting because more and more people are cutting the cord. But Netflix's stock is kind of raising up pretty high.
Yeah.
And they just greenlit this Ryan Reynolds project with some of the people that did Deadpool, a Netflix original movie with a budget of $150 million. So they're starting to kind of move into that market a little bit where they're redefining how it goes. And I just didn't know that there was somebody that could compete with Disney at that level.
And Netflix has slowly been generating, stuff through the years. I remember just getting stuff in the mail.
Sure,
wait around.
Way back in the day.
Mail it back, and then, but now it's just, but the thing is, you have a lot of content on there, and a lot of it's not good.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit. And their navigation could be, I wish it was more like YouTube or something, to where it was a little bit more suggestive and focused on things you would like, but made it easy to explore the unknown. I digest Netflix almost exclusively on Apple TV.
Yeah.
And
it sucks.
It's just this huge horizontal things. You don't see the beginning to the end. The order is random. It's not predictable.
It's better on PS4.
Yeah, I will go on my phone and browse Netflix and then add stuff to my list and then just pull it up on Apple TV because of it's just easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Netflix is growing, but again, they revealed that they have 125 million subscribers and they're very close about their numbers and performance. They don't tell people how many subscribers they have. They don't tell people their growth. They don't tell people how many people watch certain things. They don't give you any numbers. So it's kind of a big deal that they revealed that its current membership level was 125 million at the end of the first quarter.
Worldwide,
which is
right?
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot. So when you look at I don't know what the cost of doing business is, but when you look at it and like the average subscription now, like let's just say it's $13.99, that's a lot of money you're pulling in a month. You know, when you have that many subscribers, I think it's like $1.7 billion a month you're pulling in at that premium subscription level. But for that amount of money and that amount of content, I'm really only interested in like 5% of what it has.
Yeah.
You can burn through it rather quickly, and you're like, well, that well's dry.
It's gotten more because they're starting to do more like foreign stuff. So it started with dark, but I noticed they're doing a lot more like there's a thriller in there, and I think it's all in French. And there's it's like I clicked on one of them, and I'm like, I'm not in the mood to read subtitles tonight, so it was like I had to click it off. It just looks
if you're
weird.
Too tired. You're like, I'm not.
Yeah.
What was this show? I think I clicked on that same thing.
Frozen or something.
Yes. What was? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but it looked good. But it's like I'll put it on my list, watch it another time when I have my glasses on. But
get some caffeine.
Yeah.
Oh, laissez faire so too.
Sometimes you don't want to read all that. Yeah. Oh no. Oh no. No.
Oh oui.
Parlez-vous français?
La chanois. Yeah. I love hearing
Netflix.
French movies because there's so many words that bridge one word to the other. So instead of saying the French will go and you hear it a lot and it just starts freaking you out a little bit.
It's like they're reaching for words.
Yeah, they're just stalling. It's an interesting
Italian's
dialect
fun
in that respect.
Too. It's just they're talking so fast.
Yeah, and they're always like pissed off and frustrated.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anything else on your screen this week?
I finished watching Handmaid's Tale season 1 and season 2. I really burned through those in a couple days.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know like the second season is like cut in half. So new episodes will air, I guess, next month. So it's like 6 episodes in season 2 and then 6 more next month. So.
Oh, they're taking a couple of weeks off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, great show, man.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Honestly, it took me a while to get into it. Maybe around the 3rd or 4th episode, it really started clicking with me. But what's her name? Elizabeth Moss is great on that show. It's just like it's very harrowing. Yeah. There's a lot of crazy stuff in there.
It's just a damn shame she's a Scientologist.
Is she really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Well,
yeah, there you go.
Beck too, and that's,
I know. It's like, oh wow,
yeah, genius musician, but yeah,
yeah. I'll explain some things, but
picking religion, yeah, that's true. But yeah, wonderful show. I'll be definitely watching it next month when it comes back out for the rest of the season 2. But yeah, it's great. It's very it's just scary, you know what I mean? More than anything. It's kind of what they depict in that show, and yeah, I like it.
It's still a little fuzzy on like, okay, what happened?
Yeah.
You don't really get a good idea of like you understand the world that they're in and the dynamics of it. You just don't really get so how did this happen? Like what led to this?
They're kind of telling that story though in the flashbacks. It's just taking them a while,
Yeah, it is. I think that's the only like content that they're going to be able to kind of pull from to string it out. There's probably going to go 5 seasons,
Yeah.
how are they going to keep it interesting? Can't always have it be about this. Like there's going to be some key moments that push that story forward, and curious to see how they develop that world further.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Good show.
Good show. I watched another one back to Netflix called Anon with Clive Owen. Anon. You saw it, you're like, what's this movie? Anon? Yeah, that's
Anon?
it. Yeah, that's it.
Anon.
Another, it seems like they're cranking out a lot of the science fiction movies. So this is another like science fiction movie. It's okay. It's just really confusing. You really super have to pay attention to it. That's kind of what happens. And then I found out the director also made like one of the worst movies ever made, In Time.
Is that with Justin Timberlake?
Yes. Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. But, I mean, it's okay. It's worth checking out, but you really like, you're just kind of like, what? At the end, you're like, okay. And, you know.
And
then.
Yeah. So what do you recommend it?
Yeah, if you had nothing else on.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, check it out if you nothing else on, but
fair enough.
It's decent, but it just kind of suffers from the oversaturation, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sounds like you're having some fun over there.
I am.
Kind of a lot of I don't know, nothing too exciting. So It's one of those off weeks.
Yeah, kind of got a break from work, so you just start watching everything. I've been binging on Unsolved Mysteries for some
my goodness,
crazy reason. They're all on Amazon Prime, so it's like, all right, we're watching Unsolved Mysteries for a while.
Let's do it.
Let's do this.
I just heard that they're releasing the soundtrack to that on vinyl for all you vinyl nerds.
Yeah, you go to a club and you hear it like I scratched. Yeah, I'm just. It's just that kind of stuff's always been fascinating. To me, like that. It's a lot of it gets really like redundant, but there is some really cool stuff in there.
It's a good presentation, and it's definitely dated, so it's kind of funny. It's just the dude in his trench coat shows up. It's like, let me tell you this, you son of a bitch.
He has like he has like no emotion whatsoever. Yeah, like this guy was like kidnapped.
Crime Dog McGruff in human form. Yeah,
right.
It's basically the same outfit.
He's like, what? Someone else got kidnapped. Great. All right, roll camera.
Yeah. Well, it's better than the other guy, America's Most Wanted, where he's just all up in your face and makes you feel like, listen to me. This person's gone. What are you going to do about it, America?
What are you going to do about it? You should be watching this show right now. You should be outside looking for these motherfuckers.
I could have seen all these murderers and have no idea. I'm like, well, no. I mean,
you could be one of them, Sean.
Yeah.
We don't know. I mean,
and I like the little updates at the end of the episode.
Oh, yeah.
Just an FYI.
Yeah, we scared the shit out of you for the last 30 minutes. But guess what? We caught the guy while you were watching the show, in fact. You could have been breaking into your house.
You're watching it, and it's like Los Angeles, California. And you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Hold on. This is near me. I better pay attention.
Lock the door, honey.
Roll them up.
Yeah, roll them up, honey. We're not going out tonight. John Walsh told us there's some maniac out there.
All right. So I'm want to kind of shift gears a little bit. Topic I wanted to talk about for a few minutes. I was just kind of curious of because I watch a lot of crap movies just out of fun, and sometimes I just like watching bad movies or movies that are not necessarily bad, but are not something that would you'd think would be on like a movie podcast or I don't know. So it's a little bit about like what everybody's got their guilty pleasures or stuff that they watch where you really probably wouldn't mention it as like, what movies do you like watching? So I was mainly curious to see like if you actually had anything like that. But since it was my idea, I'll kick it off.
All right. Well, I kind of kicked it off with Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah, but that's got a lot of nostalgia to it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's close. Yeah. It's close.
All right. Whatever, Sean.
So like, okay, and this might be me just calling myself out, but I like watching like the Taken trilogy, for example, or the Liam Neeson movies.
William Neeson.
Yeah, William Neeson. I don't know why, but I know exactly what they're going to be, and I know how bad they are. But they're always just kind of entertaining to me. It's exactly what you want. You know how it's going to begin, you know how it's going to end. It's like it's kind of fun, but no, I mean nobody really says they're great movies. And you kind of know that, and I go in there watching it, knowing that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my turn. This is a therapy session.
So we'll go back and forth on this.
Yeah. What do you got?
Well, when you pitched this to me, I was like, I don't have any guilty pleasures because I take no guilt or shame in watching any of this shit. You know,
that just means you don't know. I just
like putting it on and let's see what happens. But my list is a little more like general in terms of this because a lot of these movies I just kind of blaze through and I don't really remember them later. To be honest with you, because they just all kind of blur together as the same movie. It's just all it's all like one big pile of shit.
It's all the same thing.
Yeah. So I mean, my lists are a little more general. I think anything on I'll just kick it off. Anything on the Sci-Fi Channel is definitely worth watching.
Worth watching, or you watch it
just like as an unintentional comedy, or to laugh at like the horrible production value.
Yeah.
One example is, and this kind of harkens back to our discussion on Mr. Miyagi. There is a movie about a gigantic snake. I think it's called Cobra, and he like dies in the beginning of the movie. Like this giant snake just eats Mr. Miyagi up. It looks terrible. Like they really harken back to like the B movies of the 50s, 60s, 70s. But anything on sci-fi that includes Sharknado.
You've seen Sharknado?
I mean, I don't know if I'm caught up, quote unquote, air quotes, but I've seen it and I don't mind watching it, Sean.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah. That's bad. I won't even go there.
Okay.
This took a dark turn.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, so for me, okay, I'll go. I like legal movies.
Yeah.
Or movies that deal with the law that are kind of like dry. So you're looking at like, they're good movies, but they're not really like ones that are exciting to talk about. And that could be like The Pelican Brief or Michael Clayton,
right.
A Few Good Men,
Time to Kill.
Yeah. So any movie that deals with like the law, and then like half of it is just watching people trying to solve some case.
Yeah,
they're kind of boring, and a lot of people are like, oh boy, But I like those kind of movies.
It's just funny how like I don't know if you ever served on a jury, but it's like you get in the jury and you if you've ever seen like an actual trial, you're like none of this shit is like a John Grisham thriller. Where's
the theatrics?
Yeah. We're like that guy kind of looks like Judge Lancito, but I don't see, anything resembling what I've seen in the movies. It's all very so I think, that's a good point that you're watching that because it might glorify that stuff a little bit. But I find solace in those films too. I think they're great.
Yeah, I've managed to avoid jury duty my entire life. I just throw it in the trash.
Wow.
And by the time they come after me, I've already moved. So
hopefully they're listening.
Yes, thanks. Come get me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the legal movies are always kind of that with me.
Yeah.
I mean, other examples of just guilty pleasures are like National Treasure. Terrible movie, but I always like watching it. I don't know why. It's just one of those fun movies. The Robert Langdon movies, Da Vinci Code. Those are I like those. They're not great movies, but I like the history and the elements of them.
I'm reading the newest book, the newest Dan Brown book.
How is it?
It's pretty good. It's I mean, those books, like I was an English major, so you'd think I'd be reading like this highfalutin stuff, but I like those books sometimes too because they're quick reads. You don't have to think too much, and you're actually kind of learning something as you go. And now that they've put out like a whole slew of them, when you're reading the book, you're just like thinking of Tom Hanks. It's good.
Oh, so is Robert Langdon in it as well?
Yeah, it's a Robert Langdon book. So it's
what's the premise or the location or the theme?
Location is Spain, and the premise is basically technology versus religion. And I'm not too far into it, but that's kind of what I'm gleaming from it. But it's.
Wonder if Ron Howard's going to make it again.
Hey, he might.
Well, they skipped one of the movies because the book sucked.
The Lost Symbol,
they skipped the Lost Symbol, which was Washington D.C. Freemasons based.
Too bad, yeah.
It was interesting, and there's a lot of good facts in there.
Yeah, absolutely. But but yeah, they're all like decent books, but it's just like, yeah, I mean, they're kind of mindless, so I guess that's a good point of reference. But like I said, you are learning a little bit about history and things like that. So, those are interesting. I like those too.
Yeah. Anything else on your list?
Anything by Danny Trejo.
So, that's a good one.
That's what I wrote down. I said anything with Danny Trejo in it, even if
like
he's in
Machete,
it
right?
Machete,
Did he have Machete?
There's a movie called Badass, and then there's another one called Badasses 2, and it's got the first Badass. I'm gonna give you the breakdown here, Sean. The first Badass is with Danny Glover, so it's Danny Glover, Danny Trejo, and then the second one takes place in like the Bayou, so it's Badasses 2. Pretty damn good, Sean.
All right.
Danny Trejo. But yeah, anything with Danny Trejo in it is definitely like, I'm there.
Sure.
He's just the ultimate Mexican badass. He did some prison time.
I like that a guy like that can have a film career.
Yeah, there's like a documentary about him too that's pretty interesting. He just kind of led like a really shitty life, made some bad choices. But yeah, it's like, he's
definitely weathered.
And very inspirational. Like he definitely gives back to the community and talks to people and stuff. So, yeah, definitely weathered though. He's been through some shit. Like you could tell. You don't want to mess with that guy at all. But yeah, that's what I wrote down on my list. Anything with Danny Trejo in it.
Okay, so for me is baseball movies.
Yeah.
I'm a big baseball fan. And if it's a baseball movie, I'm going to watch it. I think the best ones out there, I mean, Moneyball is the best for a baseball fan because it's the most accurate and it deals with something I remember following during the time it happened. But even movies like Major League, I think are rad. Love that movie. Field of Dreams is okay. It's a little bit more sappy.
Yeah.
Bull Durham is another one you're going to get in there. Not so much the No Crying in Baseball movie. What the hell is that?
Oh, League of Their Own.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Sandlot's great from a kid, childhood, nostalgic movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't matter. Baseball movie, I'm on board. I won't go to the movies to see it, but I'm going to watch it.
Sure. I like the Ty Cobb movie with Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that.
It's pretty good. The guy was just a dick. Like,
he played Ty Cobb.
Yeah, he played Ty Cobb. Yeah.
Okay, the racist.
Oh, totally. Like racist, just arrogant asshole. But I mean, set a lot of records, man. I mean, you can't really dispute with the records. But the guy, that was back when baseball was a little more like legendary type people. Just a lot of random dudes coming in, and they were all like just characters. So.
Sure.
Like that's good. The Ken Burns documentary is great. It's showing a lot of that too.
Yeah, the Ken Burns is good. It's definitely, if you're not a baseball fan, I mean, good luck getting through it.
Yeah.
And what was the other one that I saw most recent? I mean, there's Jackie Robinson was decent.
Yeah.
But it was a little too digital.
42.
You could just kind of tell. Yeah, 42. But there's one more that I'm forgetting that is just kind of right there. The Rookie, I want to say, with Dennis Quaid, who's like the 42-year-old pitcher.
Shitty, magical arm.
Yeah, I know. It's such. I mean, it's kind of based off a true story. So
yeah.
But like those kind of movies, or even sports movies like Rudy, you're like, go get him, Goonies.
Yeah.
I don't know why, like all those like sappy sports baseball movies. I always like watching those success stories.
It's kind of like, it's not like the most exciting movie, but I like 8 Men Out because it's like, it's based in fact about a crazy time. So that was good, about the Black Sox. So those are good.
Yeah.
I think that's a good genre. I mean, I think baseball movies, there's better baseball movies than football movies. For sure.
Yeah.
There's like, and you could do a lot more with there's just been some shitty like football movies and baseball movies. So, sports.
There really hasn't been too many good football movies, if I remember.
Yeah.
The one with Sandra Bullock was good.
I watched Any Given Sunday a couple nights ago. It's not bad. I mean, it kind of shows the dark side of football. which is stuff people are not even really talking about too much. But it's
what
not a terrible
about
movie.
Concussion? Was a good football movie.
I didn't see
with
that
Will
one yet.
Smith. Yeah, it was actually pretty good.
Okay.
I mean, he it's a weird movie for him to do because you kind of feel like he's trying to show his range as an actor and be this neurosurgeon type guy that's proving that, I mean, the message is good and all that stuff. He's trying to prove that football leads to brain damage, which leads to football players doing weird stuff, which they've killed people, they've killed themselves, they kind of go in depression because they've just been knocked around too much.
Yeah.
So it really kind of shows you that football's not great for the body or the mind.
Yeah.
It's a good story. It's not a great movie, but it's an interesting movie.
You're forgetting about one of the best baseball movies. That would be the Bad News Bears.
Oh yeah, with
the original.
What's that guy's name?
Walter Matthau.
Yeah.
Buttermaker.
All those shithead kids, and then just get them together.
Yeah.
That's another one. It wouldn't be in my current rotation.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, good to know. I learned some stuff about you.
Yeah. I had some other stuff on my list. Shitty horror movies. So we have Critters.
Yeah, that's bad. What Leprechaun?
Yeah, Leprechaun. There's one you probably never heard of called Ginger Dead Man.
No, never heard of that.
How about Wolf Cop?
Wolfcock?
Wolf. Yeah.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Wolf Cop. COP.
Yeah. No, is that like Teen Wolf as an adult?
No, it's like a guy who's a cop, but he turns into a werewolf sometimes.
Wolf Cop?
Yeah. Creep Show.
Okay, I've heard that.
Yeah. And then there's like some crazy, some like crappy 80s action movies like I wrote here Commando and Cobra.
Cobra is badass.
Oh, yeah.
His toothpick.
Crime's the disease. I'm the cure.
The cure.
I'm the cure.
Crime's the disease. The cure.
Cobretti.
Cobretti. There's a lot of 80s movies that we could get into that. If you're an 80s fan, and like Commando's a badass movie, but you introduce that movie to somebody who doesn't know Commando, or they're going to look at it going, this movie is trash.
Yeah.
I just know that, as a kid, I just always wished that there was like this outlet warehouse that just sold hand grenades into bins and rocket launchers, and I'm like, where's this store at?
You forgot about the fact that he knew where the button was to open the secret door to where all that shit was, including like a 4 quadruple rocket launcher that Radon Chong like almost blew up the car just trying to fire that thing.
I love those movies. There's so many in the 80s.
I lied.
Yeah, there's so many in the 80s, like but I don't know if those are truly. I don't know if those count as guilty pleasures because you grew up with them as a kid. You know, a guilty pleasure is something to where you wouldn't really say, "Hey, you want to go to the movies and see X?" You know,
you're just kind of watching them by yourself, like in the dark.
Yeah.
Oh, this is really good. Not.
Yeah, I kind of cried a little bit.
Yeah, get a little teared up watching.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Good to know.
Yeah, Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo. So before we sign off for today, I think we just take 5 minutes and do some random trivia for you because we've always done movie trivia on something very specific.
Yeah.
But I have a handful here that are just general, and I want to kind of see, okay, how deep is your knowledge of movie trivia?
Okay, so is this any specific era or like
I'm going to give you 90s movies.
All right, and then I got some for you. That's actually 80s movies.
Aw,
yeah.
Really?
Compliment you.
Yeah. Okay. So then I'll go first.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Yep.
All right. Okay. When Neo, Keanu Reeves, experiences deja vu in the Matrix, what animal does he see twice? Is it a mouse, a cat, a dog, or a rabbit?
Is it a rabbit?
It is a cat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, not a rabbit.
Watched that movie in a while.
Yeah.
I
know.
I don't think it holds up that well.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
All right, you're up.
Sad. All right. Which 80s movie was the highest grossing film of the decade? And I'm not giving you a multiple choice, Sean, because you should know this.
80s movie is highest grossing film of the decade?
That's right.
Ooh, I'm going to say The Last Crusade.
You're close with the director. It's actually E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
And
then my follow-up question is, it held that record for 11 years, and it was surpassed by what 90s movie?
Jurassic Park.
You got it.
Bam. All right. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's going to touch into your sensitive side.
All right.
In Ghost, what does Sam, Patrick Swayze, slide up the door to convince Molly, Demi Moore, he is there? Does he slide up a quarter, a dime, a penny, or a dollar?
I was going to say a credit card because he was trying to break in, but like, wait, I still live here. Would it be $1?
It's a penny.
See, I don't know if I've seen that movie in a long time.
Yeah, you have.
That was actually
though.
It's actually my guilty pleasures list, Sean.
I was hoping so.
Yeah, I just skipped over that one. I said Danny Trejo instead.
All right.
All right, I'm doing real good on these. All right, here's one for you. Which 80s movie was Alan Rickman's first feature film role?
Feature film?
Yep.
I know him from Die Hard.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, all right. I didn't know that could qualify as feature.
That's his first feature film role.
Okay.
I guess the first movie he ever
Not
did.
leading. I was getting confused with leading.
No,
I gotcha.
No. Yeah.
Okay. What is the narrator's power animal in Fight Club? Edward Norton. What's his power animal?
I'll
give you some hints.
Yeah.
Turtle,
please.
dolphin, penguin, or sea lion? There's a whole scene on this. Fight Club.
Dolphin?
No, it was that penguin.
Oh, yeah.
Remember you had that little
cave.
Yeah.
All right. I'm doing bad on these movies. And I should know these.
Yeah, you should be the 80s guy, not the 90s guy.
Which 80s movie spawned 6 sequels and a TV series?
6 sequels and a TV series.
Come on, man.
Hold on. There's a lot. 6 sequels. Batman?
Police Academy.
Oh, well, Batman had a lot of sequels.
Yeah, they didn't have
Police Academy.
Yeah.
I'm all about Hightower and Mortimer Jones.
Yeah, the guy who makes all the noises.
Yeah, that's all he got going for him.
And the black girl with the squeaky voice.
Yeah.
And the gun nut.
Put your hands up.
Put your hands on the car. Everybody shut up. It's like, oh, wow.
All right. Yeah, what's the captain's name in Police Academy?
Tackleberry.
That's not the captain.
Oh,
that's the big
Mahoney.
What's his name? Mahoney. There you go.
It's Tackleberry.
Tackleberry's the jarhead.
Some made up names. Yeah.
Yeah, Mahoney. All right. Which of these quotes is not a line of dialogue from 1990 Arnie classic Total Recall? Consider that a divorce. See you at the party, Richter. Don't forget to send me a copy, or give these people air.
Don't forget to send me a copy.
Don't forget to send me a copy is correct.
Yeah.
There you go.
Get to the chopper.
Yeah, that was easy.
There's a bomb. Every movie has a chopper and a bomb.
Yeah, I know.
Right. My turn, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Here's a line from a movie. You have to tell me what movie.
All right.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Airplane.
Yep.
Yeah, that was easy.
Yeah.
What is the name of the town attacked by the sand creatures in Tremors?
What?
Kingston Falls, Perfection, Haddonfield, or Hill Valley?
Hill Valley?
Isn't Hill Valley Back to the Future?
Oh, yeah.
It's Perfection.
Perfection.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. That was a tough one.
Yeah. Tremors.
No way, man. No way.
We gotta do something.
Yeah. All right, you're up.
Fred Ward and Kevin Bacon. All right. Which artist sang the 1986 song Danger Zone from Top Gun?
Kenny Loggins.
That's right. Nailed it.
All right. In 1996 movie Independence Day, Jeff Goldblum repeats a line he uttered in 1993's Jurassic Park. What is it? Is it must go faster? Life finds a way. I'm fairly alarmed here, or boy, do I hate being right all the time.
Boy, do I hate being right all the time?
No, must go faster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he says that when he's in the T-Rex is chasing him, and then the other one is when they're trying to get out.
Oh, okay.
That's a tough one. 90s, man, they're tough.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, I got a couple more
going.
for you. What is the name of the lead character in The Secret of Nim?
Mrs. Frisbee?
Yeah. Mrs. Brisby.
Brisby. That's right.
Yeah.
Not Frisbee.
Mrs. Frisbee.
Mrs. Hacky Sack.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not giving you no multiple choice for this. Who directed Thelma and Louise?
That would be Ridley Scott.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. A little morale boost.
Yeah. And The Little Mermaid, what accent does Sebastian have? Cuban? Jamaican.
Yeah, it's the little shellfish, right?
Yep. You got it.
All right, here's one you gotta get, and I'm not giving you multiple choice. What band did the dude say he used to be a roadie for in Big Lebowski?
Metallica.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
All right.
All right. Go ahead.
You want a couple more?
Yeah, it's a couple more.
All right. Which film does this quote come from? Come play with us, Danny.
Oh, that's Come Play With Us, Danny. Is that Poltergeist?
Nope. The Shining.
The Shining. Oh, okay. You said it all weird.
Yeah. The accent.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. Here's a tough one. What was the name of the young John Connor's dog in Terminator 2 Judgment Day?
Obscure much?
Wolfie, Bailey, Max, or Riley?
Wolfie?
Max.
Ah. Damn it.
Max! Yeah.
Yeah, get the house, Max!
Yes. All right, 2 more each.
All right. Hold on. Let's. All right. Sorry. Okay. I have. This is a line. You have to say what the quote is. I have, and if you had the sense of a billy goat, you'd clean your house up instead of bumming around ours. It's a quote from which movie? The Outsiders, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Risky Business, or Beetlejuice?
Beetlejuice? I don't know. Beetlejuice, no?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Sorry, it's one of those stupid websites where it doesn't tell you the thing right off the bat. All right.
Oh, it's all good. That's all good.
All
right. So this is a tough one. You might be able to get it. What is the name of Cassandra's band in Wayne's World? Ellen, Aim, and the Attackers, Jolly Green Giants, the Shitty Beatles, or Crucial Taunt?
Crucial Taunt.
Crucial Taunt is correct.
Yeah.
Shitty Beatles. Right on.
Right on.
All right, last one for you, and then I'll close it out.
All right, this is another movie quote. It seems to me the only thing you've learned is that Caesar is a salad dressing dude. The Blues Brothers, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, The Breakfast Club, or American Werewolf in London?
It sounds like Bill and Ted to me.
You are correct, sir.
Yeah. The dude threw it away. All right, so the last one for you. In Point Break, the ex-presidents wear masks of former U.S. leaders when robbing banks. But which ex-president is not among them? Lyndon B. Johnson, Gerald Ford, Richard Nixon, or Jimmy Carter?
Gerald Ford.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at you.
I know
Do you know?
Break.
Can you name who the presidents are for bonus credit?
Nixon, Reagan, Carter, and Bush wasn't a president yet. Lincoln?
No, Johnson. Lyndon B. Johnson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah, close enough. Nice job.
Myself. All right.
All right. That concludes episode 25's random trivia of the 80s and 90s. Hopefully you guys had fun and got some of them out there. I'm out of gas on this, man. Anything else on your plate?
No, I think we're good. We got through 25 of these, though, so I'm very proud of ourselves today.
Yeah, thanks for everybody for hanging out and listening to 25 of the episodes. We appreciate the support on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram to kind of check us out there. If you haven't done so already, leave us a leave us a review on iTunes. Speaking of which, almost forgot, we have our little winner here for Black Panther.
Nice.
Giveaway. So let me pull that up right now, and we're going to give away one digital download to the Black Panther, and for leaving 5-star reviews. And we had a submission last week.
Cool.
And I'm going to read this one, or I'm not going to read the whole thing. You can go check it out. But this will be going out to Bobby from SoCal.
Okay.
Bobby from SoCal, we love you very much. Included in the bonus package of a digital download of Black Panther, you will also receive a shoulder massage from Dave Grohl and a personal ballad written to you by Dave Matthews.
Nice.
So we hope you enjoy that. So we'll send you that code right away. Thanks again for participating. And if you guys would like to support the show other than leaving reviews, which are very helpful for helping build an audience, head over to patreon.com/The Harsch Review. You can submit your own favorite movies, top 10, suggestions, you name it. So go over there and check it out. And I think that wraps it up, Ryan. 25.
Yeah.
I didn't think we'd make it this far.
Yeah, we did really good.
Couldn't do it without you, brother.
Yeah, same here, bro.
Yeah. All right, bro.
All
right. Well, that does it for this week. My name is Sean.
And I'm Danny Trejo.
He is. Have a good one.
All right. Bye.
Bye.